Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of News in Motion. Today is Tuesday, October 10th, 2023. Today is Talk About It Tuesday or Class in Session. Shout out to some of our high schoolers that are tuning in with us this morning live here at 7:25 a.m. But if you are catching the replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or near the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for tuning in and supporting News in Motion, your regular scheduled news outlet media with relevant commentary and call to action news. Whether you are tuning in through Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, make sure to hit the like button, share this with a couple of friends, and tell us what you have planned today for this Tuesday. Or if you are on audio or podcast streaming platforms, we just want to say thank you for listening in to NIM Today for your relevant call to action news. Shout out to Miss Adrian, who's tuning in through YouTube. Good morning to you, Miss Marion Jackson, also tuning in through YouTube. Good morning, Miss Jody McRae, tuning in through Facebook. Good morning, Miss Shirley Nicholson, Dr. Antoinette, Miss Camille Jones, and Miss Judy Neal, who is also tuning in through YouTube as well. So, without further delay, I know what we do here. Let's get ready for some news in motion.
News in motion.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Tuesday. It is Tuesday, October the 10th, 2023, and we do have a lot of news, but we're also going to have class in session today as well. I'm going to pick up where Isaiah dropped off. I see you, Robert Holman. I see you, Regina Shorts. I see you, Pastor Alex Williams. How's that weather in Florida? I must say, I'm loving the 44 degrees in Ohio. What's up, Deborah Johnson? What's up, Latrice Jones? What's up, Jacqueline? Good morning to all of you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I saw more coming in, but as you're coming in, it's flying through the system. I see Sardinia coming in here as well. Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone. Y'all, we do have some news. We also have class in session today. I know it's not Wednesday, but we have enough to talk about. So I want to make sure that we talk about it. I see my brother in here as well, Lewis Pryor the third. And when I say my brother, I have a lot of brothers, but I have one biological brother, and that's my dude. That's my brother. Thank you, Latrice Jones, for sharing. Please, y'all, hit that like button. Get that algorithm moving. When the algorithm moves, it allows other people to see the alerts and to come in as well. Robert Holman says 44 not working for me. I'm sorry about your luck, dude, but it's fall and it's amazing. So just go ahead and embrace it. Stop fighting it. Just embrace it. So we just see all of you coming up in here. So hit that like button, hit the share button. We greatly appreciate it. Just every now and then do it, y'all. It's free just to go ahead and share, let people know that we're over here. As Isaiah said, we do have schools on here. I don't even know who they are anymore, but we just want to welcome you to the platform. Once again, we know that there's some schools who ask, because I do give an inspirational message, and I do not hide that I'm a follower of Jesus, but they want to know when that inspirational message is coming in. It's normally at the end, so you'll be able to click out, and we understand that totally because you're in a public school setting, so we get that. Alex Williams said it is 83 degrees in Florida. That's nice. That's nice. But you miss that Baltimore weather. You miss that 44, that 34 degrees, don't you? Judy, thank you for sharing. We appreciate that. Okay, y'all, let's get started. Let's get started. But before I get started into the news, I want to read to you an email from one of our faithful viewers. And I want y'all to respond in a nice way in the chat. They have given me permission to read this email without using their name. So please listen to this. And I would love to hear y'all's feedback from this email. Again, be nice, be nice. She and I already had a conversation, which was a very uplifting conversation. I want to talk about this. So it's not technically the news today. We'll get to that in a moment. But I think this is something we do need to address as a community and as a people. So here's the email. Hi, Gail. I want to begin with an apology. I'm frustrated with my tendency to doubt, even though I've been a dedicated listener since your early days on Facebook on your private page. I've watched you grow and consistently recommend your content. I discovered you through a friend's recommendation, and here's where I need to apologize. Last week, when you shared your research about the Speaker of the House, it struck me how you were the first to report it. I admit that initially I didn't immediately trust your word and checked national news for confirmation. This hesitation makes me uncomfortable, especially as a Black individual. I tune in daily, mostly as a silent observer, but I truly admire your presentation style and your ability to connect the dots. I'm not sure why I feel the need to seek validation elsewhere before embracing your insights. It could be because you operate independently without national recognition, or because others have gained credibility through national media outlets. You've been right 99.9% of the time over the past 3 years. So what's my problem? I am genuinely sorry for this doubt. It's strange because I frequently tune in and I have even reached out to you for your thoughts on various matters because I genuinely value your expertise. In any case, please accept my apology and please continue doing what you do. You're doing an incredible job. So that's the email. That's the email. Great morning, Lori. What's up, Mike Nicholson? So that's the email. So she asked, could she reach out to me? We did talk on the phone. She goes, I don't know why I feel that way. And so here's my question to all of us. And this is pretty much of my we have people that's tuning in from everywhere. Good morning, Davia. We have people tuning in from everywhere, but that's the email. So this again, just briefly for those of you just tuning in before I get to the meat of the news. She offered an apology that she doubts, although I'm the first one to report on things. She will go through social media looking, and this is a longer email than I gave y'all. She will go through social media to see if I'm right. She goes, I've been right 99.9% of the time. And she's a Black female, and she wants to know what's her problem. Why can't she just take this information? She goes, she's been tuning in for 3 years. So I shared with her yesterday. I said, I think there's several things that's going on. I said, first of all, thank you for your vulnerability and your transparency. I said, one thing is, I am in my own studio. This is a digital platform. This isn't national news, but I pride myself on doing that. And she goes, absolutely, you do. And y'all heard the email, I read it to you all. She says, but why do we, especially as Black people, not want to give credibility to Black people? I said, I don't have that answer for you. So that's the question I just want y'all to put in the chat. And again, she didn't want me to mention her name, so I did not. She's been tuning in since when I was on my private Facebook page. She says she follows me pretty much every morning. She goes, but she has to go and check it out. And she said last week, she goes, you were spot on. Further in this email, she's talking about, I was spot on with the information of the speaker. She goes, why couldn't she accept my word before hearing it from national news people? So I want to hear y'all's take on this. I really do. So just put in the chat if you can. Mike Nicholson says a few different possible reasons. Well, tell me why, Mike. Tell me why. Because she wants to know. She wants to learn. She wants to grow. That's why I said be nice. She is tuning in. So be nice in your response. But I think to some degree, and I believe we do this with Black businesses as a whole, and we have to get over it. We have to shift our mindset. We have to stop thinking that we're not as good as the next person, or we don't deliver, or our products aren't the best, or of excellence, that our prices are too high, and just all these types of things. I think we have to push through that. Latrice Jones says, when we as Black people are unable to embrace our own. Isaiah, put that one up there. Your Latrice Jones. When we as Black people are unable to embrace our own, I believe it's a symptom and effect of white superiority complex rooted in our mindset. Wow, thank you. Mike Nicholson says, oh, that's because we've been conditioned by white people to think Black folks are less than. There's a saying, we believe in white man's ice is colder. Lori Wallace says, because too many people who look like us always look at things as a competition or don't want anyone else to get ahead of us. Regina Short says, because we live in a world where we are compared against other progress. Wow. And then Lori also says the fear that there is not enough for everyone. Y'all, thank y'all for weighing in, and hopefully, I know she's tuning in. Hopefully, some of this will help resonate, and together we can work through this. Dr. Antoinette says, "I'll take the other road." Even in her doubt, she's doing what you say and not taking your word for it and researching it for herself. I do say that, and I said that to her on the phone yesterday. I said, "Look, I want y'all to go check it out. I want y'all." I said, not just me. And her response was, thank you, Dr. Antoinette, for putting that up there. Her response was that she goes, I know you tell us to do that. She says, but I don't do that with anybody else. She says, so there's something deeper that's going on. But yes, you're right. I do. And I want you all to check it out. Don't just take my word for it. Judy says, maybe her doubt is something personal, not really related to you. I always trust but verify. Don't believe there's anything wrong with that. You're right. She has been following you for 3 years, so she must trust you. This may be internal for her. Thank you for that. And then Marion Jackson, I'll do these last two. Marion Jackson says, there will always be doubt. Gail has always said to fact check. Once we see an issue within ourselves, we can address it and make some changes. Yes. And then Adrian says, the deep rooted biases we were intended to be imposed on everyone. So thank y'all for weighing in, and the person who's tuning in, I hope you're hearing this and be okay with it. Be okay with it. The fact that you were transparent and vulnerable and sent that email, I absolutely respect that and appreciate that. All right, y'all, now to the news. AP News is reporting Israel announced a full siege of the Gaza Strip yesterday as the conflict between the two regions entered a third day, with Israel drafting 300,000 reservists and cutting off food, electricity, and fuel to the Gaza Strip, which was already under a 16-year blockage imposed by Israel and Egypt. Israel's full blockage comes from Hamas, which runs Gaza internally, took at least 150 civilians and soldiers hostage following a wide-ranging surprise attack on Israel over the weekend. Now, y'all, Hamas has threatened to execute an Israeli hostage each time an airstrike hits civilian homes in Gaza without warning. The U.S. and the EU designated Hamas as a terrorist group due to its history of armed opposition against Israel. Y'all, at least 900 people have died so far in Israel, including at least 11 Americans, and at least 687 Palestinians have died in Gaza. More than 6,000 have been injured from both sides since Saturday. Here in the United States, we are hearing from the reports, and I'm not for sure the time keeps changing, but at some point, the president of the United States, President Joe Biden, will address the American people. They're saying it's going to be 3 Eastern time. Earlier, I heard it's going to be noon Eastern time, and right before we came on the air, it's now they're telling me 2 Eastern time. So I'm not sure. That may change as they are corresponding back and forth with the Israeli prime minister. So stay tuned, and you may want to just tune into that to get a different perspective coming straight from the office after they have gathered all of their intel. Y'all, USA Today reports United Auto Workers, members of the Volvo Group owned Mack truck facilities, say that real fast, in 3 states went on strike yesterday after rejecting a proposed 5-year contract. The tentative deal was downvoted by 73% of 4,000 workers in Florida, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. Now, y'all, this deal would have included a 19% pay raise over 5 years, a $3,500 ratification bonus, and improved retirement and health benefits. UAW President Sean Fain said the two sides remain apart on issues such as wage increase, cost of living allowances, and work schedules. Side note here about this UAW president. man, that dude's probably getting paid. And I'm just thinking, okay, make sure you're out there doing your job. And I'm sure he is, but it's just like, you're getting paid behind this. So hopefully he's positioning all the sides to negotiate and they can end their strike because the other strike is still going on as well, which I want to share this with you. Mack truck workers are not a part of the original UAW strike, which began September the 15th against the big three. That's General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, formerly Chrysler. So there's that's happening with everything else that's going on. Y'all, then Los Angeles Olympics. I got to put a little bit of soft in here before I go to my next segment. Los Angeles Olympic organizers propose adding baseball, softball, and flag football, cricket, lacrosse, and squash to the 2028 games. International Olympic Committee to vote on proposal on October the 16th. Speaking of the Olympics in Paris are coming up. What's up, Hazel? The Olympics in Paris are coming up, but now they have an infestation of bed bugs and roaches. I'm like, excuse me, what? And they said it's out of control, and they're trying to do everything they can to get this under control before the 2024 Olympics. I'm like, please, can you get that under control? Because I've had plans, but I'm gonna need y'all to get that under control. So that is happening as well. I guess it broke out during Fashion Week and it has just gone crazy. They're also warning people that people who are going back to their perspectives, perspective communities, cities, states, townships, whatever, that stuff can be on their luggage. It can be on the airplanes. I'm like, what? Say what? So y'all just be mindful of all of that. All right, y'all, to get to class today. We move in class and session today because there's so much that's going on. Y'all, the house is on fire. We done gone from chaos to just straight on fire. The house is on fire. Y'all, wasn't there a song back in the day? I'm dating myself. I'm 58 years old. Wasn't there a song back in the day talking about the house is on fire? Something like that. Well, y'all, the house of U.S. representatives, y'all, the house is on fire. All right. Y'all know the saying of Maya Angelou, when people show you who they are, believe them. Listen, y'all, Axios is reporting that Representative Kevin McCarthy, who had floated the rumor that he's going to be out of the House by the end of the year, now decides, I think I'm going to throw my name in and run for Speaker. What? Sit down. We just need you to sit down. You're not helping. You're just not helping. We need you to take a seat. Yes, y'all. Speaker, Representative Kevin McCarthy signals yesterday openness to returning to a House speakership after being ousted last week. Yeah, the House will hold a candidate forum today with an election expected tomorrow, maybe. So that's what's happening. Marion Jackson said the roof is on fire. Is that what it is? The roof, not the house? Well, something's on fire. In this case, the House of Representatives are on fire. Mike Nicholson says the House, Gail. Deborah Johnson says the roof. Y'all don't see. I went to school to learn, to study, to do those kind of things, right? You know, I would go to parties every now and then. Mike said, if the house is on fire, that's an arsonist. All right, y'all, so I messed up. All right, I'm glad y'all keep me in check. Dr. Antoinette says, go have several seats. They did not want you the first 14 times. That's right. It's like when I read that, I'm like, come on. And so I started searching, thinking, this can't be true. This can't be true. You just floated last week that you're going to be out by the end of the year. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? So let's dig into this. Let's go to school. House leadership. Y'all having fun that I said the house and it's the roof. Okay, whatever. The house of, and for those of you who are new here, this is how we act, okay? We give the news, we have some fun, we just have a good old time. And they're always coming after me, but I always have something for them too. So the House leadership, the Speaker of the House is the only House leadership position mentioned in the Constitution. Did y'all know that? Yeah, it's the only position mentioned in the Constitution. Over time, as the United States grew, the membership of the U.S. House of Representatives increased. We now have 435. We have 2 vacancies. Don't forget that. A need for additional leaders developed. In addition to the Speaker of the House, current House leaderships include the minority and the majority and the minority leaders and the party whips. So each party have the minority lead. They have the speaker. That's on the, like if you're looking at a table of organization, the speaker's up, and then like the 2 rungs, the 2 bars. One would be the majority leader, which is the House majority, and one is the minority leader. In this case, it is Hakeem Jeffries. Um, I have no idea. That's strange. I have no idea who the I think it's Steve Scalise who is the majority leader on the Republican side. Yeah, I think that's who it is. Don't quote me on it. Go research it. Check it out. Look it up. Then you have the party whips. You have the whip for the um, Republican side and the whip for the Democratic side. All right. So the Speaker of the House acts as the leader. Remember, the house has the power of the purse, and we know right now we can't get aid to Ukraine, we cannot get aid to Israel, we cannot do anything because they control the purse. They have the purse strings. They are the what they call the power of the purse, and it comes from that speaker implementing bills and legislation, and they vote on the floor, and from that vote then they take it to the Senate, and then the Senate, they make changes or whatever. They come back to the House, and then once everything gets figured out, it goes for signature to the president's desk. It's supposed to be working. It should work that smoothly, but it's not. So that's how it happens. So the House has the power of the purse. So they have the money. And the power of the purse means they decide where the money's going. That's why when we're looking at the government shutdown, now we're like ticking down to under 40 days at this point. Um, those are the 12 appropriation bills. Again, go back 2 weeks ago, I listed all 12 of them, talked about the offices and how they all connected. It's on there. Our replays are out there. Just go find it. It's there. It will be on either a Tuesday or a Wednesday when I do class and session, so you can check it out there. So we have a speaker pro tem. Yes, thank you, David. David said, yes, it's Steve Scalise. We have a speaker pro tem, and the speaker pro tem, who is McHenry, Republican, he has no power. He's just there to hit a gavel. That's about it. That's all he can really do. Okay, and he's like slammed it down last week when they voted his boy out. So the speaker of the House is responsible for administering the oath of office to the members of U.S. Congress, appointing a pro tem, counting, declaring votes, sending bills to committees, signing bills, resolutions passed through the House. The speaker is also second in line behind the vice president. All of that. We talked about that. Okay. Well, here's a position description. And I want us to put our house on. Dr. Antoinette said it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. So here's a position description. And I want y'all to hear this. Hear this. And I want you to think about Jim Jordan, who's running, Kevin McCarthy, who's thinking about going back and throwing his hat in there, and Steve Scalise. That's who we know so far. And then that other dude who's running for president of the United States again, the former guy, presiding over House sessions. All right, that should be easy, right? Remember, Kevin McCarthy allowed Marjorie Taylor Greene to do that a couple times. Ew. Leader of the majority party. The speaker typically belongs to the majority party, but we now know the speaker. It could be one of us, as long as the House representative vote us in and we have enough votes. Okay, it could be. The magic number is 218. Although with two vacancies, I believe it's 217. That's how my math is mathing. I wasn't great in that area, but yeah, he got ousted with 216. So there's something screwy with the numbers, but the magic number is 218 when you have the full house of 435. All right, so the committee appointments, this is the speaker. So these were some of the negotiations that set him on fire, okay? Because he went 15 rounds before he got in, right? That was back in January. And they were negotiating, and one was committee appointments. Like, put him on a committee, put her on the committee, put the House Freedom Caucus, put them on committees, just kick everybody else out, take this office, take that office, this, that, and the other. That's what got him in trouble, okay? So, but now the committee appointments, the speaker has the authority to appoint members to various House committees and often make strategic decisions. This is like they're negotiating. This is where the whips come in. Sometimes the whip is out there whipping up votes to get these people into these offices. But the question is, can you do the job? Just like any of us, can you do the job? Do you have the background to actually do the job? Which is why we should start interviewing people before we vote them in the office. Can you do the job? Do you have foreign policy? Do you have anybody around you that can do? Do you even know what foreign policy means? Do you know what the 12 appropriation bills are? I found out that some of them on the House did not have any idea. George Santos or whatever your name is. Yeah, that's happening. All right, y'all. Legislative agenda. The speaker helps set this legislative agenda, deciding on which bills to be considered and brought to the vote of the floor. Yeah. Uh-huh. Representation. The speaker serves as one of the most prominent representatives of the House of Representatives to the president. So he or she goes up to the Oval Office all the time. They're discussing what's happening. Who's discussing what's happening with the president right now with Israel, Ukraine, with inflation, with everything that's going on, supply chain here? Who's with these strikes? Who's negotiating? Who's talking to who? With the health care, with college student loan debt, with with the immigration, with the border. Who's having these discussions? We're not working. What's happening? We're not working right now. What's going on? Y'all, the Constitution, the constituent services. Oh, y'all still put us in here? Yeah, constituents. That's all of us. We are the constituents. Now, it's not their primary duty, but the speaker may assist constituents with federal issues and inquiries when needed. You I can come to you and have a conversation with you. Yeah, we can. We can like get on this docket or her docket. We can. Yeah, I just want y'all to. I want to read this to you because I was kind of shocked by it. I gotta find it. I was kind of shocked by it, and I think you'll be just as shocked if I can find it. I hope I have it. Um, Oh man, what did I do with it? So this is what happens when I get so excited about things and I'm going through things. Okay, I can't find it, but I can read it from my head. Oh, nope, I have it. Yeah, I have it. I thought I did. Yeah, this was the day after the vote to oust Kevin McCarthy as speaker. This is what happened on the floor with the pro tem. At 10:06 and 8 seconds a.m. on Friday, the pro tem announced that the House was now adjourned pursuant to previous special orders. And they said the next meeting is scheduled for 11 a.m. on October the 10th, because they were off yesterday. Um, Before that, at 10:05, 59 seconds a.m., they were in adjournment. At 10:05, 32 seconds a.m., they gave the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going backwards. At 10:05, with 10 seconds, they announced approval of the journal. At 10:03, 56 seconds, there was a prayer by Chaplain Margaret Kibben. And at 10 a.m. on Friday, the House convened, starting a new legislation day. So from 10 o'clock to 10:06, they were in the chamber. Then they left because they couldn't do any other business. I just want you to have a picture of what's actually going on. They couldn't do anything. They were there for 6 minutes and they went home because they could not do anything. And I wanted to share that information with you to let you know what's really happening. There's no business that can be done there. None. So they were in there for 6 minutes. So then they also do the speaker, the party fundraising. They're out there getting money. So the qualifications of this job: U.S. citizenship, experience. Typically, the speaker has significant experience in Congress and may have held leadership roles in their political party. Political party affiliation, leadership skills. Get this one: strong leadership, negotiation, bipartisanship, and communication skills are essential for the role. Knowledge of parliamentary procedures, familiarity with parliamentary rules and procedures is necessary to effectively preside over House sessions. I went digging because I'm nosy, right? I asked how many, I just put it in there, go Google it, of the 433, because two vacancies, representative have knowledge of the parliamentary procedure. Y'all would be just shocked to know what I found out. They said about half. About half. Well, are there any tests, rules? Do they take classes? You got to take certain classes to be a citizen of the United States of America. Latrice Jones says, let me have 6 minutes with Columbus City Schools. Yes. And get this, Latrice, they're getting paid $174,000 a year plus full benefit package, health care, all of that. Marion Jackson says, and it's sad that they're getting paid to do nothing. 6 minutes. Kim Edmondson says they shouldn't get paid. They shouldn't get paid time off. Listen, this is that's why I'm bringing this to your attention this morning. Just going through this, it's like, what is going on? So, y'all, it's important to note that the Speaker of the House is powerful and influential in this position in the U.S. government. This position is up there. They're third in line to the president. Well, actually, second to the president, but they're third in line when you're looking at the top two to the Speaker. And we're talking about Jim Jordan. We're talking about the former guy. Are we really going there? So here's some questions I thought we would throw out and just have fun. I wish I could send these to maybe I'll send these to Joyce Beatty. Can you ask these questions? Something. But questions could be, can you describe your leadership philosophy and style? Okay, this question, I believe, helped assess the candidate's leadership and their approach and their mindset. Another question, how do you plan to ensure bipartisanship and cooperation within the House? And maybe these are the same questions we need to be asking those who's running for these offices. We need to take our time, y'all. We need to take our time before we just vote. What legislative accomplishments or initiatives are you particularly proud of, and how did you achieve them? And I'm not talking about getting some pork and beans, because that's how they negotiate a lot of these bills that are out there. But what did you do, and why are you so proud of this particular accomplishment? How do you envision setting the legislative agenda for the House? Well, what are you doing? How are you pulling this up? How are you putting this together? Stop wasting our dollars. Yes, Kim. Yes. Can you provide examples of your experience in managing complex negotiation and consensus building? These are just, don't we get these questions when we go apply for a job? Seriously, don't we get these questions? Well, why can't we ask these questions of these people who are getting paid $174,000 a year plus health care, free, plus all the other benefits that they're getting? Why can't we ask these questions? What strategies would you employ to ensure transparency and accountability to the House operations? What are your strategies? And don't give me the spin, give me an answer. Another question, how would you manage the Speaker's relationship with the President and the Senate if you're not from the same party? How are you going to balance that? What will be the spins? What are the conversations? Will you be honest? Will you be transparent? And what does that look like? What are your thoughts on the Speaker's role in representing the House in public and media? Are you strong enough to go before the media and have a conversation? Another one, how would you prioritize and allocate committee assignments and members of your party? Really, not just your friends, but people who are strong in those particular positions. How do you plan to engage with constituents? Hello, somebody, and address their concerns while serving as Speaker? Because we have concerns right now. We have concerns. The House is on fire. We have concerns, okay? Can you share your understanding of parliamentary, because I came up with this after I found out only like 50% knew how to do it. Can you share your understanding of parliamentary procedures and your ability to preside over House sessions effectively? Hello, can you do that? Can you just give us the normal stuff? We're not even getting to the committees yet, or the appropriation bills or the legislation right now. We just want to know, are you a good leader? What do you see as the biggest challenges facing the House of Representatives in the coming year? And how would you address them as Speaker? Another one, can we just go ahead and just plan to do the 12 appropriation bills each year so we can stop putting the government in balance, out of balance, and stop allowing these employees to feel threatened and stressed throughout the year? How would you balance the needs and interests of your party with the broader responsibilities of the Speaker, which includes representing all members of the House, all of them, and their constituents? Can you provide examples, hello, somebody, of times when you had to make tough decisions or make principled stand, or take a principled stand, even if it was politically challenging? Yeah. Can you provide me some examples? Don't tell me what you're going to do. Give me examples of what you have done and how it has made a difference. So, y'all, that's just an overview of what we're looking for, because right now, I'm not for sure what we're going to get from the House. Have no idea what we're going to get from the House. Before we get out of here, and hopefully that was helpful to you all, please post in the chat if that was helpful or not, or some thoughts that you have on some of the questions and their responsibilities. And as you're doing that, y'all, New York Times is reporting, I talked about this yesterday when it came to Dr. Cornel West. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said on Monday that he's going to continue his presidential run as an independent candidate. So now you have Dr. Cornel West, and you also have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Kim Edmondson said, boom, that's what I'm talking about. Speaking to a crowd of supporters outside the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a leading vaccine skeptic, conspiracy theorist, said that he represented a populist movement that defies left-right division. Boom, 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 whatever. Then he says in a quote, I want y'all to hear this quote from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The Democrats are frightened that I'm going to spoil the election for President Biden, and the Republicans are frightened that I'm going to spoil it for Trump. The truth is, continuing his quote, they're both right. My intention is to spoil it for both of them. Dude, you ain't got that much power, but okay. So now he has alienated his family. His own family members came out with their own quote. And they're done with him. They said, Bobby, this is a quote from all of the siblings. Bobby might share the same name as our father, but he does not share the same values, vision, or judgment. Boom. Then they said, continuing their quote, and this is Rory Kennedy, Carrie Kennedy, Joseph P. Kennedy II, and Kathleen Kennedy Townsend. Okay, these are his siblings. They said this in a statement on Monday. They finished their quote by saying, "We denounce his candidacy and believe it to be perilous to our country." So there's that. That's what they have to say. Let me see what y'all saying in this. Marion Jackson says, all good questions. If possible, can you list the questions in the newsletter? Yes, I will. I'll make sure that's in there for Friday. If you have not received the newsletter, you can sign up. It's completely free. You can go to www.gaildudley.com. And it'll pop up, a box will pop up to join the newsletter. Again, that's thank you, Isaiah, www.gaildudley.com. You can sign up. It comes out every Friday. It's called the Friday Rundown. It's not too much in there. And every now and then I do put offers in there, but I also give you a lot of content that will help you in your work. But I'll do that. Thank you, Mary Jackson. Latrice Jones says, ask the doggone questions, Gail E. Deli. I'm trying. Jody says, yay. Dr. Antoinette says, did you see the joint statement by his family? Yep, just read that. Wasn't that amazing? They were like, no, he may carry our daddy's name, but not. Adrian says, News in Motion interview committee for speaker. I'm in. Hey, we should do that. Like, we have the interview committee. The rest of y'all sit down because y'all not doing y'all's jobs. And then Regina says these positions need a probationary period. I second that. 90 days. 90 days. If they're not up and running 90 days, if they haven't passed the test, to me, you should have to pass the test. Pass the Constitution test. Seriously. Pass the parliamentary procedure test. Pass the test of the 12 appropriation bills. Since that's the main focus, pass these tests. Pass the legislative test. Pass the bill test. Can you write? Can you read? Can you read and write? Can you just do the basics? Just do those things. Jody says, oh yes, they're running scared. Kim Evans says, wow, his own family turned on him. Adrian says, not one of them would get through. Listen. No, not with my interviewing skills. Not at all. All right, y'all, for inspirational messages, and we're out of here. And I want to go back somewhat to, I almost said her name. Caught myself, to the email that was sent. I just want to talk about our mindset in niche marketing and things like that. It's interesting. It's interesting to me because I think to some degree we talk about niche marketing. I've said it too. Niche down. What's your niche? What is it? But if God has gifted you in many ways to do many things, why not do them? But I'm afraid we have allowed other people to speak to us as to what we can and cannot do. Again, I'm so grateful for the email and the conversation, even her permission to share it here and for you all to weigh in on it. And I love the different sides. I love coming back to the things that I have said previously. That's community building. And when we're talking about shifting the mindset, we have to think everybody's not here against us. And to not allow that fear to consume or that negative or that voice that's nagging at us saying, oh, they don't like, well, like someone said on here, she's been following for 3 years. Some I'm saying makes sense. There's something that's getting that person to see and to stretch and to push. And here's the truth. I don't have it right all the time. She said 99.9%. I think that's too high. Maybe 93.1%. I don't know. Because 3 years, I'm sure I've made many mistakes. But be okay in the mistake making. Be okay in what it is that you're doing. Be okay that you're doing many things, but we're told if you're doing so much, you seem confused or you're not sure what you want to do. Who told you that? I'm going to just pull out my book. Who told you? I wrote that book for a reason. Who told you that? I first preached that at a sermon at the New Salem Missionary Baptist Church Women's retreat. For those of you on here, you all remember that. Who told you that? Who's been whispering in your ears the lies that's stopping you and preventing you from doing what God has called you to do? Who told you that? By the way, that book is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. But anyway, that's a side note. I'm being real funny. But who told you that? Who told you that you can't have dialogue and conversation with someone who's saying to you, you know what, I don't know why I'm wired this way. I don't know why I feel this way. Or someone saying, you know what, I just can't follow you. Okay, then it's not for you. I love the words of Dion saying, we're not for you. It's okay. It is okay. We have to be okay with things not being okay. If people don't receive us, okay. I'm not going to sit here and prove anything to you. I'm not going to sit here and cry and ask you to do A, B, C, and D. Yeah, we have to have a level of confidence and boldness. Every day over the past year and a half, I say, make bold moves. In making bold moves, you cannot be concerned what somebody else is going to think, say, or feel. Can't go there. You cannot go there. Speaking of that, Inspire is still coming out, y'all. For those of you who still refuse to take the refund that I've been trying to give to you over the past year, the Inspire is almost done, but it's a whole new book. And I think back even to that. I was trying for it to be something from the inspirational messages, and some of them are still there. But God was like, it took a daggone hurricane. And I hate to say it, and Kathy and I laugh about this. Her house to be completely flooded, for the hard drive to be completely destroyed, for him to get my attention. That's not where I was leading you. Y'all, now when I go through that book, because it's now getting all put together, it's thebomb.com. And at first I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna change the name. I can't call it Inspire. And God's like, what are you talking about? So what? It messed up. It's okay. It's okay. Just keep going, keep moving. It's okay. Don't worry about what anybody have to say. Don't even worry about it. Just keep going. That's also the freedom. The freedom, y'all, the summer off, straight freedom. And believe me, I'll never go back there again. Ever, ever. The freedom, y'all, it's a mindset, it's a change, it's living into your now and into your season and embracing it. Even if you're the only one that's embracing it. If God has given it to you, then it's for you. And what's the song? What God has for you is for you. With that, y'all, I am out of here. Keep moving, make bold moves, and live your life in abundance. We're out.
Motion.